Tim Pancakes.
Hello everybody, Tim Pancakes here, and happy 4th of July. This video is kind of a continuation of my Sims Pride 2020 celebration for the month of June, where I started doing solid color builds. Kind of trying to build every color of the rainbow, and I made a few of them. I got, I think, 3 colors out during June, so I would have had another 1 or 2, except that during the last week I was moving, so that kind of just threw a wrench into all of my plans. I tried to do everything, but I couldn't do everything, and as a result, we got the King Karen's Quest second season started, where we're playing King's Quest 1, one of my favorite series from my childhood. And there are 8 games in that series, so right now Karen and I are working our way through that. And then the other video that was posted that wasn't really planned to be posted right away was the Karen Teaches Tim to Build video, which actually we filmed, I would guess, at the beginning of June, if not the end of May. But I had pretty much a full month planned for Pride, so I was kind of trying to hold on to some of those videos until July, but at the end, I'm really glad that I had them in my back pocket ready to post because, like I said this last week, I was just kind of pulled in a lot of directions. But it is July 2nd today, so a couple days before this video will go up, and I kind of thought that continuing the solid color build would be fun. I want to get a few more on the channel, even though it's not June, and the 4th of July, red, white, and blue, why not do a solid red build? So that is what I'm doing today. It ended up being mostly red with some black accents and some other neutrals. But the rules that I've kind of made for myself with this project is that I allow neutral colors, because really for me, the main objective is to explore different swatches that I wouldn't normally use. But I still do want it to look good. I don't want it to just be like all solid red items that don't look good based on style or whatnot. So the challenge is kind of to still make it look like a real livable home that's, focused on that one color. So this is a red build. I also have green, purple, and blue posted on the channel. I also thought it'd be fun to do an apartment for this series. And so red kind of seemed like a good color. Orange would have worked too, but I just kind of felt like, let's do a red apartment. So that's what I'm working on. This is 920 Medina Studios, and I don't think I've ever lived here. The apartments that come with San Myshuno in the City Living Pack do tend to have usually like one locked lot trait that you can't erase, and oftentimes they are undesirable, like things breaking all the time or something like that. This one was haunted and quiet, and haunted was not locked, so I deleted that lot trait and kept the quiet one, and so that's, that works just fine. And so this is actually a lot I'll probably try to build in more often now, because I know that it's not a rough one to live in where things will break all the time or anything like that, or my neighbors will be really loud. That's another one that we see sometimes. But anyway, I went through and kind of picked out the floor plan. This was originally a 2-bedroom apartment, but I ended up bringing it down to 1, namely because with it being a solid color build, I wanted to make it as easy as possible. So with 1 less room to furnish, it just made it a little bit easier. So I kind of imagined this being a young single person, or maybe a couple, but a young adult, a man or a woman, or non-binary. I mean, it could be really anybody that lives here. I just kind of tried to do kind of funky young stuff. If an item had red in it, that was close enough for me. So like that couch is mostly yellow, but there is a red backing, so that qualified for my challenge. And yeah, so I played around with some different things. I think at the end, I'm really happy with actually all the rooms. I think all of the rooms turned out pretty nice. And you'll see at the end, I think the one that surprised me the most is probably the bathroom. So I know a lot of builders tend to say from their speed build videos that all their bathrooms look the same. They do the same thing in all of them. And so they often won't show the building portion of their bathrooms. And it's kind of true. A lot of bathrooms end up just being neutral and, enough for the basics. But with these solid color builds, I've really been exploring the catalog and finding some interesting things and taking a chance on items that I would never otherwise use. So the mirror that I put in this bathroom, I would never use. The same can probably be said for the coffee table in the living room and just a lot of items. I kept kind of catching myself throughout the build where I would, like the desk in the bedroom, when we get to there at the end of the video, there was one desk that I liked better and it worked better and it was more my vibe and kind of more for the vibe of the apartment that I was going for, but it was black and clear. It was a glass top one. And so that was more neutral, whereas there was an actual red desk. So I also had to kind of choose items and catch myself and say, okay, Tim, do the red one. You're building for the challenge, not necessarily for you. So I had to do that every once in a while, but yeah. Right now, I am actually filming in a hotel. I mentioned that I was moving this last week, so I did sell my house and it closed. Actually, I haven't been told that it closed yet, but I'm pretty sure it closed. It's kind of been a wild ride. But at the end of the day, I kind of just wanted to be able to walk away. With losing my job and everything going on in the world, I just did not want the added responsibility of home ownership, in case I had to replace the roof or something weird happened. I just didn't want to be stuck or trapped or to have a $10,000 bill pop up out of nowhere, which can very well happen when you're a homeowner. And since I just didn't have a job, I kind of felt like the responsible thing to do was to sell. I also had my sister, brother-in-law, and niece living with me. And so whereas, let's say the water heater went out, I would be comfortable doing sink sponge baths or showering at the gym or something until I saved up money to replace it. But I didn't want to be like a slum landlord to them. So, yeah, I just kind of was like, you know what? Let's get out before it's a problem, put it on the market, and just walk away. And so that's what I did, and it was a hard decision because I just bought the house in October, so it's pretty new to me, and I had just finished unpacking too because when I was traveling, I didn't really unpack, so I was living out of boxes for months. When quarantine started and I had all this time at home, I took advantage of that time to finish unpacking and make it a home, and then I lost my job, and then things just kind of, I don't know. It just all escalated quickly, and I thought, I don't feel right about staying. So that was hard. Honestly, the whole month of June was hard, and May and April. This entire quarantine process has been really challenging for me, emotionally and financially, obviously, and just socially because of all the things going on in the world right now. There's so much ugliness in this country. And honestly, you'll notice that this build isn't super patriotic. It's red, but I just am not really feeling super patriotic right now either, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't want to make this a political statement, but basically it's been a hard couple months for me. And so I'm in a hotel, like I mentioned, and I needed a mental health retreat. I just kind of wanted to be able to go away and not be on Facebook and not be getting text messages or phone calls, or I wanted no responsibilities. And I do watch my niece during the day, but my sister is off this week. So the timing worked out nicely that she could watch my niece and then I could be gone for a few days. So I checked in Tuesday through Friday. I'm probably going to extend it to check out on Saturday though. And I'm just kind of trying to rest. I'm running on fumes and I can feel that. I just need to unplug and get away. And so I'm kind of living off the grid, except that I do have electricity. It's funny that I say I'm living off the grid because the power went out at my hotel yesterday. So for maybe an hour or more, I didn't have power. And I was like, well, okay. Of course. Of course that happened. But I'm just watching some HGTV and I'm reading a book right now. I'm reading the Alphabet series by Sue Grafton. So I finished A is for Alibi yesterday and started B is for Burglar. And there are, it goes all the way through Y. The author did pass away before writing Z. So to her friends and family and fans of the series, as far as we're concerned, the alphabet ends with Y now. And I've only read a few of them in a random order. So a couple of friends and I are actually reading them from start to finish, and we're just kind of going through those. So I finished A yesterday, started B. I just really love being able to get lost in the book. I'm also playing some Sims, like getting into the zone to build this apartment was actually really fun, and it took me about 2 hours to do the decorating and the floor plan. So not too bad for me, especially. And Karen and I spent all day yesterday filming for King Karen's Quest. So we actually finished King's Quest 3 yesterday. And I also had her open up King's Quest 4 just for kind of a sneak peek and to get her first look at it. So I've got a lot of footage. We've finished King's Quest 1, King's Quest 2, and King's Quest 3. And even though right now there's only 2 episodes on my channel for King's Quest 1, I've got plenty of videos to edit. And that's another reason I kind of wanted to just go away for a few days so I could just zero in on my laptop, edit some videos, build up a stockpile so that I can just schedule them all out and not have to worry about it. Without interruptions. And my bedroom is a huge mess at the apartment right now because now I'm living out of boxes again and there's tons of stuff stacked up everywhere, and I just need to go through and purge things and unpack. And we signed a year lease, and who knows what will happen at the end of that year. But for right now, I'm excited to have the opportunity to unpack and maybe get rid of some stuff, purge a few items. And I don't know, be in a new space. I do have my own bathroom at the apartment, which I like, whereas at my house, we only had one bathroom that all 4 of us shared. So, it's got its perks, and I'm looking forward to everything being put away and actually feeling like a home. So that'll be a big project in the next week. I could feel that I was on fumes and I needed a break from the world. And so I used my points to check into a hotel for free for a few days, and I'm just kind of not communicating with the universe. Like Karen and I did some filming yesterday, and I've, interacted with my DoorDash deliveries, but otherwise I'm trying to just keep a low profile and really rest. And that's hard because I'm easily distracted and have a to-do list, and it's hard just to sit there and do nothing and not feel productive. But that's why it's fun to get lost in the book. It's fun to get lost in The Sims, and it's fun to get lost in the editing. So I'm looking forward. This is Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be another full day of just zero contact with the outside world, and I'm looking forward to that. I wish it was longer, but it'll be enough to at least give me the boost and the energy I need to feel like myself again, because I could tell I was like barely keeping it above water. I was really struggling. There was just a lot happening, and a lot of change. I went from being alone a lot of the time with my job where I was traveling to living, 24/7 indoors in a small space with a few other people, including a 6-year-old. So it was just a big adjustment. But I'm enjoying the alone time here at the hotel. So I'm wrapping up here on the build. I'm just kind of going through and trying to add some additional clutter and spruce things up. It took me a little while to find some items in the catalogs. I'm still trying to learn it. But, I think considering the other builds that I've done, this one's probably the most decorated. I don't know. I thought it turned out pretty great. I really liked a lot of the different red swatches. Again, some of the pieces, as long as it had red in it, I called it good to go. So I'm just wrapping up a few loose ends here, and then I will cut to the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and that's a stack.